Good morning, scrappers and scrapettes, and welcome back to D-Scraps, E-Scraps. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Scrappy D. So today, I wanted to talk to you about telecom boards. I have a very large order behind me, getting ready to sort and clean and box up and ship out to board sort. And the information I got that I'm basing this video on, I did get from watching several videos on boardsort.com. Pretty much their rule of thumb goes across the entire industry. They've been doing it the longest. They're certainly an excellent source of reference. So telecom boards, for our purposes here, come from telecom equipment. Telecom equipment is switches and modems and wireless equipment, some of which can go into peripheral boards, but specifically I'll focus on boards that came out of switches because it's less confusing. So this is a telecom board. It came out of a Cisco Pro Edge, I think it was. Came out of Cisco 2090 series. So it's pretty beat up. Now this is the first. I have not seen a Cisco board in blue. That's interesting. And I really now have some concerns about where to grade this board. I'll make my decision based on what I see on the board. There's some gold here. I'm going to leave these gold pins. I'm not going to take these. I'm going to get this off and I'll show you what's under here. This board right now, if I were to sell it, is a low-grade telecom board. Why? Because it's got crap all over it. It's got rubbish here, rubbish here, rubbish here. This is rubbish, but I'll show you what's under there in a second. All of this is junk. Junk, junk, junk. Why? It adds weight and it adds no value to the buyer. So therefore, it is junk. So I want to upgrade this board, which I can do pretty easily. I've already broken off the plastic. Get that out of the way. I might leave these two small hard drive chips in here. They're flash drives. I don't really have any use for them, but I think they could be of value to the buyer. I'm going to choose to leave them. I may be wrong. Don't quote me. You got to be careful when you're removing chips, removing heat sinks from telecom boards. Sometimes they're pasted to the chip. If it has legs on it or screws, you can usually get it off. If it doesn't have legs or screws like this one, sometimes you can't. The problem is going to be if you can get this off without pulling the chip. If you pull the chip, you've just devalued the board and you're never going to get high grade for it. So I've already taken the liberty of removing this one. That exposes a very nice gold edge BGA chip, and I was able to get this off. This is just covering. There's no chip attached to there, and that's okay. There's another gold band chip there. So I've already improved the quality of this board just by getting that plastic garbage off and getting those two heat sinks off. Again, I'm going to leave these gold pins. If I was selling this as a low-grade telecom board, I would consider nipping them off. I'm not going to because I'm making the decision to try to get high-grade telecom for this. This is really where you get a big differentiation on low-grade versus high-grade. Don't want to cut myself here. If your input-output jacks have a lot of visible gold, you can put it in as high-grade telecom. And these do. That's all gold in there. That's loaded. I know this one is, I know this one is, and I know this one is. I've already looked. This board can go as a high-grade telecom because these have lots of visible gold. There's a lot of gold pins, and the reason I know there's a lot of gold pins is because I pulled slot processors out of them. They plug in here, there's gold pins here, and there's gold pins here. So I know that because I took this out of the board. So full of gold pins, gold pins, gold pins, gold pins, flash drive, flash drive. Not really a lot of rubbish on the board, and because it's filled with gold pins, I can put this in with high grades now. I couldn't before, but I can now. Let's take a look at the board itself. To go as a high-grade telecom, it must be fairly densely populated with visible gold and good chips. I've got visible gold, I've got visible gold, I've got visible gold, I've got good quality gold-edged BGA chips. I know there's gold in here. There's gold here on the flashing. I have more gold-banded BGAs right here. I have flat packs. I have IC chips. And the back of the board is not bad either. This is very well populated with recoverable components for a buyer. So this, just by me cleaning it up, I've moved it from a low-grade telecom to a high-grade telecom. Here's a couple of more that I can show you. Again, I was able to get the aluminum heatsink off of the chip. You can see there's a lot of paste there. So if you get resistance taking this off, don't do it, because you're going to pull the chip and then you're going to really devalue the board and there will be no hope for it. I have had occasions where it's come off and I've just taped it back on with the chip on it so I don't short my buyer. I probably would take some of this garbage off, but they weigh nothing, they're just aluminum. So this was easy enough to do. I see a gold banded, well actually I don't know if it's gold banded or not, it's not, but I've got a good BGA chip here. I've got some good IC chips, flat packs, visible gold. This is a gold edged crystal oscillator, but I've got visible gold here. This is where you really can make a difference with this kind of board. If these are not filled with gold, you cannot sell this as a high-grade telecom board. And even as is, it's borderline. But these are filled with gold, and they came out of a Cisco product, so I'm really not too leery about selling it as a high grade. I got gold pins here. It's a little rubbishy, but it's not horrible. And again, this weighs nothing. They're aluminum. Gold pins, visible gold pins, and the back is okay. I have a lot of MLCCs, and there's decent gold recovery here. I would put this right on the very fringe, though. If it had any less in the way of chips, I would keep it in low-grade telecom. Again, this is my opinion. I may get a note back from my buyer and say, hey Dee, we don't agree with your analysis of these boards. We downgraded them per our standards. And that's fine. But I've upgraded this according to their standards, so I don't anticipate that I would have a problem. Telecom boards are very low profile. There's not transformers and plastic garbage. This is about the highest point on the board. But again, that is rich in gold recovery for the buyer. So this is another similar board. And again, you've got to get, there can't be any garbage left on the board. I've already gone through and loosened a lot of this because I didn't want to waste time on the video. So that's been removed. These are probably brass. I don't think they're gold. I loosened. I was able to get this off of here. So that exposes a very nice chip. I don't know what it is. It's not marked. I was able to pull these both off. These usually, I usually wind up not going after them because they do stick. I kind of hit it with the heat gun before I attempted to remove them. And if, like I said, if they stick, don't even bother. Just leave it. You're going to get low grade. Send it with the aluminum on it. You have no choice. because if you take these off, it's going to be low grade anyway. In and of itself, this is not a bad board. Again, plenty of gold pins in there. The buyer won't be upset about that. If these were not full of visible gold, you'd have to either remove them or sell this as a low grade board. We're very densely populated with good quality chips. These are gold band crystal oscillators. I've got a little bit of copper, which I'm not going to take. I've got a gold banded VGA chip. I've got IC chips. I've got flat packs. I've got MLCCs. This is an HP board from an HP switch. And again, the back is good too. So I don't see any issue with sending this in as a high-grade telecom because of this. If this did not exist or was full of plastic, yeah, your buyer would be 100% right to reject that board. You'd have to clean that off to get high-grade telecom. But yeah, no, it's a great board. It's got lots of good value there for a buyer. And this is an HP board, by the way. I think I have one more. And these, by the way, can just go in with your clean aluminum, which is right now 40 cents a pound. Give or take, it can change tomorrow, you know. Actually, that might have been the last of them. So take a few minutes, you know, upgrade your board. Just want to see if I can grab a high-grade telecom board just to show you the difference. This is one more I'm going to put in with my high-grade telecom boards. Even though it has a lot of stuff on it, that is rich in gold recovery for the buyer. So I'm not, I don't feel any qualms about doing so. I've got gold flashing. I've got a gold banded VGA chip. I've got a nice flat pack. I've got a Cisco chip here. So this is another Cisco board. I'm a little concerned about this, but these are gold filled, these are gold filled, and that's got lots of extra gold in it for the buyer, so I don't see a problem. Flashing, gold flashing, very densely populated. These are tantalum capacitors, VGA chips, crystal oscillator. Nice board. And it's good on the back too. Plenty of components here. Good gold recovery for the buyer. So these are all going to go as high-grade telecom. Okay, I'm going to cut the video a little bit short because it was really very item specific. I may do something a little later. I have a bunch going out to board sort. But I did want to show you how to upgrade your low-grade telecom board to a high-grade telecom board. You definitely want to get the value when and where you can. And that'll be all. So Scrappy D signing off. God bless you all. Thank you for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe. Stay wonderful. God bless you and keep you safe. Mwah. Love ya. Bye.